When a club wins the league, you expect them to fine-tune, not detonate. But at Anfield, after winning their 20th league title in spectacular fashion, Liverpool decided to rip up the blueprint. They embarked on the biggest spending spree in their history. You saw the title, £200 million, but the reality is even wider. The club's total outlay in the summer topped a jaw-dropping £400 million, with a net spend of over £200 million, even after some massive sales. They smashed the British transfer record not once but twice, first for Florian Wirtz and then for Alexander-Arnold. On paper, this was a massive statement, a warning shot to the rest of Europe, and this wasn't just a title defense, but the dawn of a dynasty. So why, after all of that, is their Premier League campaign already in pieces? After 11 games, the champions are stuck in mid-table. They've already lost 5 matches and they are holding on to a goal difference of just +1. Defensively, they look fragile. Offensively, they look toothless. This is the story of Liverpool's massive transfer gamble and whether it's about to backfire spectacularly. To really get what's gone wrong, you have to understand the sheer scale of the chaos at Anfield. This wasn't a touch-up, it was a full-blown revolution. The club sanctioned the sales of established stars like Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich and Darwin Núñez to Al Hilal. But the departure that sent shockwaves through the fan base was Trent Alexander-Arnold, the creative heartbeat of the team for half a decade, who packed his bags for Real Madrid. And in their place, a flood of expensive new talent. A reported £116.5 million for Florian Wirtz, the German wonder kid from Bayer Leverkusen. A deal rising to a reported £79 million for Hugo Ekitike, a striker designed to bring a new edge to the front line. And then another £125 million for Alexander Isaac, a blockbuster transfer that made him the most expensive player in British football history. To top it off, they brought in Jeremy Frimpong from Leverkusen to replace a generational talent at right back, alongside Milos Kake on the other side. The strategy was a critical, clear, tear down a title-winning team to build an even better one. It was bold, it was ambitious, and right now, it looks like it might have been a catastrophic mistake. It wasn't just about the new faces, but the loss of the old ones. A team that once moved like a single organism suddenly had its vital organs ripped out and replaced. The immediate results: utter chaos. Let's start with that attack. On paper, a front line of Mohamed Salah, Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and Alexander Isaac should be terrifying. In reality, it's been clunky and predictable. Florian Wirtz, arriving with that colossal £116.5 million price tag, was supposed to be the new creative genius, but so far, he's looked overwhelmed by the sheer speed and physicality of the Premier League. He leads the team in off-the-ball sprints and runs, which shows his footballing brain is working, but the ball just never seems to find him. He's a ghost in a machine where the parts aren't talking to each other. His SOFA score rating of just 6.3 in the recent 3-0 demolition by Manchester City tells you everything you need to know. He's on the edge of the game, not at the heart of it. And then there are the strikers. Hugo Ekitike has chipped in with 3 goals in 9 league games, a decent, if not dazzling return, but is often forced to drop deep into midfield just to get a touch, start off service. Alexander Isaac's start has been even more alarming. The £125 million man has yet to score a single Premier League goal for the club. His preseason was wrecked by a drawn-out transfer saga, and he's looked off the pace ever since, with only a solitary Carabao Cup goal to his name. The attack, once Liverpool's pride and joy, now looks like a collection of strangers. The movements are rigid, the patterns are easy to read, and opponents have already figured it out. Teams now let Liverpool press them, play right through it, and launch counters into the huge gaps left behind. If the attack is disjointed, the defense is in a full-blown crisis. Liverpool have shipped 17 goals in 11 league matches, an appalling record for a defending champion, and the root of the problem is obvious: life after Alexander-Arnold. How do you replace a player who completely defined your team's entire system? Jeremy Frimpong was the answer, an explosive, lightning-fast fullback who loves to attack, but he isn't Trent Alexander-Isaac. Alexander-Isaac was a playmaker from deep. Frimpong is a winger playing in the defender's position. He's great at bombing forward, but his defensive awareness has been repeatedly exposed, and he simply doesn't have that generational passing range. This has created a domino effect. Without Trent's inverted runs and quarterback-style passes, the midfield is lost at sea. It's gotten so bad that manager Arne Slot has even tried using Dominic Szoboszlai as a makeshift right back, a clear admission that the Frimpong experiment isn't working. Over on the left, Milos Kakev was brought in to offer similar attacking energy, but playing two hyper-attacking fullback hasn't left the defense brutally exposed. The channels between the centre-backs and the fullbacks are wide open. Simple long balls are cutting the defense apart, and the team is incredibly weak on the counter. Van Dijk, once the calm commander, now spends his games fighting, constantly dragged out of position to cover enormous gaps, and left in impossible 2 versus 1 situations. The defensive rock that their title was built on has turned to rubble. So, did Liverpool just light £200 million on fire? The answer is more complicated than a simple yes, but the early signs are damning. The issue here isn't the quality of the players they signed. Wirtz, Isaac, and Frimpong are all world-class talents. The problem was the strategy itself. Liverpool didn't just buy new players, they tried to buy a new identity. They tore apart a functioning, title-winning machine, believing they could instantly plug in new parts and be even better. But football just doesn't work like that. That muscle memory, that telepathic understanding that teams build over years, it's gone. Players who used to move on instincts now look lost and confused. The attack is blunt, the midfield is a creative desert, and the defense is a liability. This isn't just a rough patch, it's a systemic breakdown. The club gambled that individual brilliance could trump collective chemistry, and right now, that gamble is blowing up in their faces. But okay, it's not a complete catastrophe. While their league form has been a train wreck, there are some glimmers of hope. In the Champions League, Liverpool has looked more like their old selves, winning 3 of their 4 group stage matches. This suggests that against teams less familiar with their chaotic new setup, their raw talent can still win them games. And it's important to remember, we are only in November. Integrating this many crucial new players was always going to be a long process. Isaac is still getting back to match fitness. Florian Wirtz is only 22, adjusting to a new league and a new country. These are long-term projects, not overnight solutions. And Slot found a title-winning formula last season. It deserves a little time to figure this new puzzle out. And they still have Mohamed Salah, who's leading the team with 4 goals and 2 assists. The ceiling for this team is still incredibly high. If, and it's a big if, these players finally click, Liverpool could become an unstoppable force. The real question is whether their title defense will be completely dead and buried by then. This season might just have to be written off as a painful, messy, but maybe necessary year of transition. In the end, Liverpool took a monumental risk. They traded the stability of a championship side for the high risk, high reward potential of a squad full of individual stars. In the short term, that bet has failed. The team looks like a shadow of its former self. Their identity is gone and their title defense is already on life support. The talent is there, that's undeniable. But talent alone doesn't win you the Premier League. You need structure, you need chemistry, you need time. Right now, Liverpool are desperately short of all three. They haven't necessarily wasted the money, but they've gambled their present for a shot at a glittering future. We have to wait and see if it pays off. But I want to know what you think. Was this a genius long-term rebuild or the most expensive mistake in Liverpool's recent history? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this analysis, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the beautiful game. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.